Hey, what is up, everybody? Since Soul is coming out very soon, I decided to do a top 5 Pixar movies beforehand, and I brought a guest with me to help me do this. Hey, man, how you doing?
Hello, you may or may not know that my name is Gingercat 59, and today I'm going to be helping Gavin Likes Movies, or Gavin the Geek, rank the top 5 Pixar movies.
Hey, everyone, 100% check him out. His link will be in the description down below. And, okay, man, let's kick it off with your number 5.
So number 5, I have Onward. Now, I recently watched this and I absolutely adored it. Now, I didn't expect to love it as much as I did because I thought, you know what, it's got Tom Holland in it. I'm not a huge fan of the stuff that he's done. I mean, the Spider-Man movies are fine and all, but I'm generally not a huge fan of Tom Holland's movies. Onward was different. I really adored Onward. I just thought it was such a brilliant Pixar movie. It was so emotional. It was so funny as well. It just brought out all the right emotions out of me. It was just such a fun movie and such a sad movie, honestly. It really did make me cry, honestly. Not a lot of movies make me cry these days. There aren't really many that make me cry. But this one did. I was watching it with my sister, and since there are a lot of sibling themes in the movie, those really got to me. So, you know, it's just a really great movie. And I know there are a few people who are like, it's good, but it's not that good. I am not with them at all. I think this is a phenomenal movie, and it's definitely one of Pixar's best, in my opinion.
I as well absolutely love Onward, but it really just wasn't able to make my top 5. But what made my top 5 was Monsters, Inc. I honestly love this film, to the concept, to the ideas. I did Top 100 very recently, and it was on there, and it deserves to be on there for sure. Mike and Sully are debatably the best Pixar duo, and like I said before, the concept and the story are just phenomenal, and I love all the characters. Every single main lead that's in this movie is all distinct in their own.
At number 4, I have Up. Yes, this is another really sad Pixar movie. A lot of Pixar movies at least have one sad moment in the movie, and Up is one of them. I mean, in the first 10 minutes, you know, it pulls at your heartstrings. It really does, because obviously, spoiler alert if you haven't seen Up, come on guys, please, you must have seen Up. I mean, come on. His wife dies. I mean, in the first 10 minutes or something, and that's sad. And for the rest of the movie, it's about an old man and a young boy, and you know, you're bound to get some sort of emotional themes there, and you really do get that. And overall, I think this is just a well-made film. Again, like Onward, it's one of Pixar's best in my opinion. And it's just cool, the whole floating house thing with balloons. Such a creative and imaginative idea. I just think it's so great. Up is definitely one of my favourites. It has been a long time since I've seen it, so it might not be as good as I remember, but I highly doubt it. I mean, I remember loving this, even though it was very sad. I mean, even as a kid, I knew that this was a really well-made film. I just think it's great.
Now, I personally found Up kinda overrated, even though I really do like the movie. I just think some people overhype it, and I thought the first 10 minutes was the best part, and then it kind of just went a good amount down from there. But my number 4 is Wall-E. This movie is just phenomenal in so many aspects. The first 30 minutes have almost no dialogue, and I think it's just brilliantly done. The animation is completely gorgeous. It has the best Pixar romance by far, and it has these great elements to it. Everyone always complains about when they're on the ship, it's completely just ducked down. But for me, it's Pixar's take on the dystopian genre, which I found very interesting, in my opinion. It's great in every way, and I just absolutely love this movie in so many aspects. There's very emotional scenes at certain points.
And number 3, we have Monsters, Inc. This is one of the most fun Pixar movies that they have ever put out. I have an absolute blast with this movie. It's so fun. It's so funny. Mike Wazowski, Sully, great characters. They're hilarious. They're so fun. They really are so fun, and it's cool to see this whole monster world that Pixar has created. It's just it's such a cool idea that, you know, to see monsters working and, you know, scaring a load of kids. Such a cool idea. It's just great. And I mean, Boo is probably one of my favourite Pixar characters of all time. She's so cute. She really is. I mean, I don't really know what else to say. Boo's cute. She just is. But also, as with every single Pixar movie, there are some sad moments, especially towards the end of this movie. And it didn't quite make me cry, But I realised that this was a sad thing, you know. Boom and Sully splitting up. It was sad. It was sad. But yeah, overall, Monsters Inc. Great movie, really fun movie, excellent voice acting in this movie. I think this probably has one of the best voice acting in any Pixar movie, really. I just think it's great. I think it's really, really good. Monsters Inc. Fantastic film. One of my favourites. Number 3.
I as well, Gingercat, love Monsters Inc. But my number 3 is Finding Nemo. I absolutely love this film in so many ways. This used to be my favorite Pixar film, but there are just two I love a little bit more. The animation is outstanding, the themes are phenomenal, and everyone says only parents can relate to this, but kids can relate to this movie as well. About the fact about just being separated by your parents is just a horrible thing to think about, and being and losing, and it's also about parenting as well. So parents can relate to it and kids can relate to it, which is just a brilliant concept to have in that sort of aspect. The characters are all phenomenal, and it's just such a film filled with so many brilliant themes, and I just love Finding Nemo with all my heart.
At number 2, we have Toy Story 3. Now this could just be the first movie I ever watched in the cinema. I mean, it's at least the first one I remember watching in the cinema. Toy Story 3 is just such a nostalgic movie for me, because as I just said, I'm pretty sure it was the first movie I watched in the cinema, and I remember absolutely loving it. I mean, I've seen it so many more times afterwards, and I still love it. It still holds up. It's still a great conclusion to the Toy Story franchise, and honestly, I feel like they should have just left it at 3. I mean, I do like Toy Story 4, but Toy Story 3 was just such a perfect conclusion. Every single character in this movie has at least one great moment in it, unlike Toy Story 4 when it's pretty much just Woody who's the centre of attention. Everyone here has a great moment in this movie, and I think that's such a great thing. But overall, Toy Story 3 is just a perfect movie. I mean, I've said it on my channel before, I think Toy Story 3 is perfect. I feel like Toy Story 3 just does something so special, and especially towards the end. Whew, I was bawling my eyes out when Woody and the gang were about to die in that incinerator. I mean, I generally thought they were going to kill off all these. I generally thought they were going to kill off all these toys. I really did. Obviously they didn't, and obviously when towards the end as well, when Andy gave away the toys to Bonnie, jeez, man, I couldn't stop crying. I mean, it's just such a perfect movie, as I've already said. Toy Story 3, definitely one of my favourites. I absolutely adore this movie. I really do.
Well, great minds think alike, because my number 2 is also Toy Story 3. I don't think it's perfect, but then again, I don't think any movie's perfect, so I don't agree with you on that part, but I think it is absolutely phenomenal. It is a perfect conclusion to this Toy Story franchise. Like you said, everyone gets a moment, a little payoff, little character arc that's set up. I think just everyone is phenomenal in the movie. It just closes out this ending brilliantly. I think Lotso is a phenomenal, absolutely outstanding villain, and just everyone is so great. Every character is great. The themes are phenomenal. It just does everything so brilliantly well.
But of course, at number 1, my favourite animated movie of all time, that's right, it's better than Spider-Verse in my opinion, we have The Incredibles. The Incredibles is great. I love The Incredibles so much because it mixes two of my favourite sorts of genres, I guess. Animated movies and superhero movies. And sure, toss in Pixar movies there as well. All meshed together, it's just perfect. It's a perfect film for me. I think it's so great. The Incredibles is just such a blast. I love every single character in this movie. Every single character has a funny moment. Every single character has a memorable moment. I just think The Incredibles is so great. It's everything a Fantastic Four movie should have been. Unfortunately, the Fantastic Four movies weren't as good as The Incredibles, but still, I think The Incredibles is just such a good movie. I really do. I honestly don't know how some people can't like The Incredibles. It's great. I mean, it's got so many iconic moments in it. The music is absolutely spectacular. I love the music in The Incredibles. But overall, I just think The Incredibles is great.
Great pick. I overall love The Incredibles as well. Not as much as some of the people. I think it's a little bit overrated when people say it's like top 5 Pixar, a masterpiece. But I still love The Incredibles. But my number 1 is Inside Out. This might be a little bit biased because of how much of a personal connection I have with this movie. I didn't see this film in theaters, actually. There's definitely a good amount of Pixar movies the more I think, but I never really saw in theaters. And this one I just watched at my grandma's house. I don't really like it that much. Wasn't able to just like kind of like, okay, this is a fun movie. Then I rewatched it recently for my Pixar ranking for Soul, and I was like, what was I thinking the first time I watched it? It's so incredibly phenomenal. In fact, I actually watched the second time. I did a Pixar ranking a long time ago on my old channel, which you can't find it. No, you can't find it. It's gone now. Good. Should be gone. But anyways, I watched it then, and I didn't really like it that much. And I finally rewatched it for my Pixar ranking. I was like, I love this movie. It's my favorite. This is my favorite Pixar film. I just have such a amazing connection with this movie. The animation is gorgeous. The way it distinctively shows all the characters, anger, disgust, fear. The voice acting, in my opinion, is the best Pixar voice acting. The comedy lands brilliantly. The world is just absolutely outstanding and creative. The characters are phenomenal. Sadness is finding her purpose. The emotion, it's basically a film that's about emotion, and it works so brilliantly with all these distinctive personalities that they give these creative characters. I love this movie with all my heart, and just everything it does is just brilliance at its finest. It's truly, in my opinion, debatably a masterpiece. It's very close, in my opinion. I just absolutely love everything this film was trying to do, everything it did, and it just gave me almost a perfect film. It's just so outstanding in every aspect. I love it with all my heart.
I just want to say a quick thank you, Gavin, for having me on. This has been really fun. I hope to do it again sometime. This has been really great.
No problem, man. I would definitely do this again. This was amazing. But yeah, guys, make sure to subscribe to his channel. His link will be down below. Also, maybe consider subscribing to mine. I do video essays, rankings, top 10s, and so much more, you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.